Oh, how's it going? So I've just wrapped up here for the night. I put a pretty long day in, and yeah, I'm still wearing the same shirt and clothes that I wore when I was out for my walk this morning. But you know, hey, I gotta say, the kitchen is pretty much done. So I wanted to kind of show it to you because it's taken quite a while, and I've been updating you guys online about the progress of it. So I thought, hey, might as well show you what the finished product looks like, or the almost finished product. So right behind me here, the breakfast bar and the back of the cabinets, this is a galley kitchen. And galley kitchens are pretty popular. They're smaller kitchens, you know, for sure. And this is a smaller house. But this behind me here was all the old 1970s and 1980s, that wood paneling. And it was actually in still really good shape, but it was just outdated looking. So tore it all out. I went with the shiplap, and I just went with painted shiplap. However, I did paint the painted shiplap. It's actually like a primered shiplap. And then, so I put that up right, you know, at the bottom there and up above. The colors I'm using is espresso bean for the brown and what's called a helium for the white. It's got a blue tint to it. I did the ceiling also in that helium color, and the espresso bean will match my new ceiling fans. Now, I complain a lot about painting. It's just not, I'm just not good at it. I mean, and I don't really want to be good at it. You know, it's messy. It gets everywhere. I mean, my legs are still got paint stains all on them. My clothes are all ruined from the paint. But this here is why I don't paint. You see that? I just don't have the steady hand, and my eyes aren't all that great too. I gotta wear reading glasses when I'm working on stuff, and you know, what are you gonna do, right? So, I mean, painting's the least of my worries. I'm not the best finish carpenter either, but I know enough to be a little bit dangerous. Here's another reason why I don't paint. How do I get paint there when the cabinet's all the way over there? I don't know. Now, as I said, the kitchen isn't completely done. I still have to put the hood up. I got a really nice hood. It came with the house, but it is the avocado green. It still works. So I'm going to sand it down, repaint it, and then I have the stove I got to put in here, the right there, and then also the fridge on that side. Now, right over here, it's where the dishwasher goes. I have to go out and buy a dishwasher. I have the stove and I have the fridge, and I'm just going to go with the same color. You know, it's going to be all white appliances in here. Up above, I mean, look at the cabinetry work. You know, these are all the original cabinets from 1970s. I just went through, sanded it down. The doors were all misaligned. Yesterday was a really challenging day for me, being that this is a one-man job for the most part. And hanging these doors are a little bit of a challenge. Not just these little doors, but when I have to do the regular interior doors of this house too, that will be an all-day project just for, like, you know, 5 doors, for me at least, because I'm one guy. And you know, so what happens is you have to line these up perfectly where they don't open and close, right? You know, they'll catch, you know, on the doors themselves. They'll just like that. So I got to adjust that one. You see that? That's not oh, there you go. There's still a little bit of rub there, but all the other cabinets. Now, on these here, because it was just that paneling on the other side of the cabinets, you know, I went ahead and I painted the back side of the shiplap. So, but hey, you know, I'm pretty happy with this and the way it turned out. It turned out a lot better than I thought it was. The whole bottom section of these cabinets below the sink, they were completely destroyed. So right down there. So I went out and tried to find replacement cabinets for these bottoms here. And being they were built in 1970, 1973, something like that. They're an odd shaped size. And so I went to a couple different hardware stores, and they didn't have the sizes in stock. I could have custom ordered them, and it would have taken you know, weeks, maybe even months to get here. I just don't have that kind of time. So I just went through and I rebuilt it, and I just went out and I bought the wood for it, and you know, framed it all up and then rebuilt it. So everything's nice and solid now. Got a new solid bottom, new frame, everything down there. The plumbing's all the same. You know, there was nothing wrong with the plumbing, so I just reused all that. Now this here, the sink, the countertops are all staying the same. I gotta do some heavy cleaning on those. This crush, if you're wondering what this grape crush is doing here, yesterday was such, as I had mentioned, yesterday was such a challenging day. I told myself, I went out and I bought this grape crush this morning, and I said, hey, if I finish this today, I'm gonna celebrate and have myself a grape crush. So I did finish it. There we go. Now, I kind of want to show you this faucet here. The unveiling of this faucet. I left the bag on purpose. So I love these new faucets. This here was the original pump sprayer. That's a soap dispenser now. And that is the brand new faucet. So all the little accent pieces, the poles, the handles, everything is silver in this house. The last house I went all black. I wanted to do all silver this time. I think the silver is a really classy look with the dark brown cabinets, the white countertops, and then the silver accents. Of course, with the silver sink too, you know, the stainless steel sink. It just all matches. It's all uniform. That's what I really wanted. Well, that's it. That's the kitchen for now. And again, tomorrow we'll get the fridge in here. We'll get the dishwasher, or excuse me, the oven in here. And then we'll get the hood installed tomorrow as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I think I could do it. And then the dishwasher, I'll just have to go out and buy that and have them added in. And then the very last thing is I gotta do the pantry. So I got a nice little separate pantry here, which is kind of a lost thing these days in a lot of houses, you know, unless you're going with a custom house or you build your own pantry, you really don't get those anymore. So kind of one of the benefits of buying an older house as your starter home is a lot of these things that you see, these little features, like the nice, you know, the nice silver poles, the nice handles on the here, the nice faucet. You don't get those in a new house unless you pay for them in most cases. Most new construction homes, especially with like starter homes, when you see those signs that say, hey, you know, 3-bedroom homes starting at $200,000. That is for a base model house. You're definitely not getting anything like this in the house. You're definitely not getting anything like that in the house. And you're definitely not getting anything like, you know, the faucet and all the other little creative touches that I put into these homes to make them unique. And because not only to make them unique, but I have to do something to combat the new home construction house too. So, because that is my biggest competition, is the new home construction. And I believe, now I might get a little bit of heat on this, but I believe that we don't need more new houses. We have plenty of these old, you know, houses that are kind of run down, that need some tender loving care, need some rehabilitation. And there's a lot of them. But what we do is we build and then we forget in many cases. And then we just let those things go and then we just keep building new. But if you're a first-time buyer and you can't afford a brand new house and you want the nice features and you can't you can't touch it. You know, I mean, let's be honest, it could get expensive. That's where houses like these come into play. And that's the reason why I really think that instead of building all these new houses, we just ought to take these home builders, turn them into a renovation crews instead of new home building crews, and then have them go in and start buying, renovating, and reselling these houses. I think, to me, honestly, I think that is, number one, the best point I can make about this is the material alone, the cost of material alone. See, where I was able to benefit from this kitchen is that the material was already here. The material was already paid for. I paid for the material when I bought the house. Even though it was run down, it wasn't taken care of, it needed to be refurbished. It's still cheaper to do that, much cheaper to do that, if you know what you're doing, than it is to replace all this stuff, than to rip it out, throw it away, and replace it. These are real solid wood cabinets too. And on my kind of budget, I wouldn't be able to afford solid wood cabinetry like this. So it was important to me that I kept this solid wood. And I think that's going to be another really cool selling feature. Anyway, it's late. It's 10 o'clock here, probably 10:30. So I'm just going to enjoy my grape crush, take a shower, and hit the sack. Love you. We'll talk to you soon.